Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm your tarot reader Stephanie, and today's reading is all about your manifestation. We're going to talk about your manifestation, when it's coming, what blockages you may have, and anything else that you may need to know about this thing you are manifesting. We have 5 piles here for you today. But before we move forward, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor for this video, Psychic Source. Psychic Source lets you connect with professional gifted advisors in whichever way you feel the most comfortable, whether that's through phone call, video chat, or through texting. They are one of the oldest and most trusted psychic services in the industry with over 35 years of experience. By using my link below, you can connect with one or multiple advisors for up to 40 minutes for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. I just had an amazing experience with a psychic advisor that was able to give me clarity into a connection, a potential connection where I wasn't sure where we stood or what was going on, but she confirmed a lot of what I had already been feeling, because sometimes, when our emotions are involved, we can be a little bit all over the place, but Psychic Source really does know how to choose very gifted and experienced and very talented psychics to help you through your most confusing moments. So try Psychic Source by clicking the link below in the description. The 5 piles we have pile 1, which is the Rider-Waite Tarot in Spanish. Pile 2, we have the Mystic Dreams Tarot. Pile 3, we have the Accurate AF Tarot. Pile 4, we have the Weird Cat Tarot. And pile 5, we have the 8th House Tarot. So take a few deep breaths, think about your manifestation, open up your crown, your third eye, your heart, and every other space within your auric field to receive loving messages, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the Rider-Waite Tarot, then we have a reading here for you about what you are manifesting. We're going to see what it is that you are manifesting and how that manifestation is coming along. This is also a video for those of you who maybe don't know how to go about your manifesting as well. So we're just going to tap into a little bit of both those of you trying to manifest as well as those of you already in the process of doing so. So we're actually going to start with the tarot, and we're going to ask questions about your manifestation. I am getting a little bit of what's the word? Indecision, or maybe that's not the word. Like not knowing where to start, not knowing what to do. It's like you know what you want and you may even have a vision for it, but you don't know where to take the first steps. Because as I'm doing this, typically when I do my readings, I have a good idea of like how I'm going to pan them out, even if I'm doing it on the go, even if I'm doing it spontaneously. But this one, I keep hearing multiple things, like to do 2 things at once. For those of you who are more psychic, who have like some sort of clairsentience, claircognizance, any of the clairs, I feel like you may be getting a little bit mixed up in your intuitive advice and your intuition, which makes a little bit of sense here, because sometimes when we don't know how to manifest, we could have like 2 sides of us, 2 sides very much authentically us, or multiple, that are kind of getting in the way of each other. So there's something here about focusing on one thing or focusing on one aspect. I can see this would be really difficult for those of you who, for example, are either diagnosed with ADHD or maybe just are already handling multiple things in your life. So I could see why this can be a little confusing. So let's put it out there to gain a little bit of clarity within this particular pile, which is so interesting because I wasn't going to do this reading, but I got the inspiration to do a manifestation reading, and here we are. Pile 1, your manifestation. We have the Star. So this is my first time actually having a Rider-Waite deck. I've been doing tarot forever, and I forget how much nudity is in it. Like I forget that I have to censor a lot. But we have the Star here, which is hope. So you definitely have the vision. I keep seeing that. You know what you want. You even have hope that it will manifest. But for some of you, I do feel like it's either taking a long time, or you just don't know like like the belief itself is kind of what's guiding you here. And I feel like that's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to have belief and hope in your manifestation. But you kind of don't know what to do from there. It's like you put it out there in the universe and now what? Yeah, that's what I was getting. The Four of Cups, like, where do I go? And the Hermit here is really interesting because I feel like I don't typically see the Hermit as a lost soul. But that's kind of what I'm getting here, even though it's upright. Yeah, the Ten of Swords. I'm hearing you don't have to go it alone. I feel like a lot of you believe that this manifestation or this journey is something that you have to do all by yourself. But if you try to do it all by yourself, you're going to be way more burnt out than if you try to find help with it. And who it is that you need to ask for help may vary. I guess it depends on what it is that you're doing. For example, if we're talking about like a class project or like a degree of some sort, of course, this would be asking your fellow classmates. This would be asking your professors or people already in the field. But if we're talking about something else, I'm just seeing multiple examples to ask people who have already been through what you've been through or who have more experience in that matter. We have the Lovers. Yeah. For some of you, there could be like a partnership here because the Lovers isn't necessarily romantic partnerships. It could also be partnerships in business, people who uplift you, people who provide something and you provide something back for them. So for a lot of you, one aspect of your manifestation that will take you where you need to go is meeting the right people to help you go through this. Because a lot of you with the Hermit, you're going at it alone and you're not supposed to. I think you'd be surprised to find out that a lot of the businesses, the very well-known companies and businesses that you know, may have one person with their name on it. But I promise you there was a whole fleet of people, a group of people, a team, maybe a partner who laid in the back but didn't want all the publicity, didn't want the fame. Usually it's something like that. I think of I don't know, let's take, for example, who do I want to, I'm trying to think of a company I can talk about that won't be divisive, but there's multiple we could think of, there's Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, like people that you associate with a company or a brand or something, and you think, oh, it's just them by themselves. No, they asked for help from everybody. These people got to where they were because they had really good people and social skills. And I'm not saying you have to be the biggest social butterfly out there, but it does help to be honest enough with yourself and maybe even a little bit humble enough to understand that you don't know everything. You can't do everything by yourself. It would help more to understand that in order to see your dreams come true, it takes a group of people to help you out. So this is definitely my hyper-independent pile, I can already tell. Because for a lot of you, there is someone who's supposed to come along to help you out. And maybe some of you don't like to hear that. Maybe some of you are like, I don't want to make friends, which I understand. Like I'm very, there's a little bit of an unsocial energy here. We have Aquarius and we have Virgo, both known for being very loner types, like working on their own. But then we have the Lovers here. It's like, oh, maybe for some of you, this could be a combination of like Aquarius and Virgo, like maybe there's an Aquarian person and a Virgo person, or people with those kinds of aspects. One's more detail oriented and the other one is the innovator, the one who comes up with the ideas. The Lovers is Gemini, which is somebody who is really good at actually working in groups. Gemini people always seem to have friends, even the ones who say they don't. I've never met a Gemini who doesn't network really well, which is kind of funny. In fact, for a while, I think half of my friends were Geminis. Let's see, what else do we have about your manifestation? We have the Knight of Wands, inspiration. You're going to be re-inspired. I feel like you're going to find inspiration that is going to kind of catapult you forward. Because for some of you, this manifestation may have been within your heart for a while, but even if it hasn't, there's going to be something that kind of pushes you to do this, because it's like literally igniting the fire under your ass. Like, it's like time to get up and do the thing I want to do. I feel like it could even be like an unexpected push or even a sudden impulse. I know it's typically seen as reckless or a bad thing to be impulsive, but me personally, I found probably my best luck being impulsive, like just on a whim doing something and then I find out something. You know, I've had that kind of luck. And maybe a lot of you have this as well. Maybe you have Jupiter in a fire sign, like Jupiter in Aries specifically is coming through, but also Jupiter in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Aquarius, and Jupiter in Leo as well. So maybe you have Jupiter in a fire sign and you actually are very lucky whenever you just take sudden action. And the Magician, look at that. Kind of just to clarify and to really hit this home, to confirm that a lot of what is being said here could be ringing true for you, pile 1. So don't go at it alone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't even be afraid to like research things. Don't be afraid to be inspired by something else. And I know maybe some of you don't want to be copying other people, but honestly, I feel like this is how we're meant to do it sometimes, to take something that already is and improve upon it. I mean, after all, we're using the Rider-Waite deck, and this is one of the more, I don't want to say it's the first, but it's definitely one of the oldest and one that we base a lot of our tarot off of. But look at the millions of tarot decks that it has inspired since. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but a lot of them do bring a lot of insight and new reinterpretations of the same thing that we've already understood and known. After all, I feel like you're meant to take something that already is and improve upon it. Not to take credit for, you know, being the one to invent it, but to be the one that innovates it and maybe even brings it into a modern era or adjusts it for a certain audience, for a certain kind of people as well, for some of you, if that resonates with your manifestation. Back of the deck, we have the Devil and the 8 of Cups, which is really interesting. I feel like for a while, some of you became obsessed with this. The Devil can be obsession. And sometimes when we put too much energy into something, when we obsess over it, when we make it the center of our universe, it can be a little like it doesn't have room to breathe. Imagine your manifestation like a plant. Like a little plant, and I can already hear it. It's like, oh crap, I've never kept a plant alive in my life. I can understand that too, pile 1. But imagine it like a plant. Like sometimes you need to water it. Sometimes you need to give it a little sun. Sometimes you need to move it around in a space because it needs a different setting. I know I do that with my plants. Sometimes they need less light. Sometimes they need direct sunlight. And it's all about adjusting your needs to your manifestation for sure, but not obsessing over it. Does that make sense? It's a fine line between taking care of its multiple needs and obsessing. So with that said, let's move on to some oracle decks for further information regarding your manifestation. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm not here to try and figure it out, though if something comes through, you can just take that as confirmation. For my pile 1. So we have Omniscient and Wisdom. Yeah, like I said, don't be afraid to seek out wisdom. Don't be afraid to seek out those who know more than you. We have a little owl here and the Eye of Horus. Both are actually very similar because wisdom and omniscience. Omniscience is all knowing, knowing everything. So I feel like a lot of you may seek out something that it's like, I keep seeing consulting like a database, doing research. Definitely do your research here on how you can improve. Sometimes we can be inspired by the past, like looking up research on how something was done, and then that helps us improve upon something, which is really interesting. We have the numbers 28 and 34. So these could be ages or dates that are important. I'm also getting, there could be like a gap of 6, like either 6 years, 6 months, but I'm getting for a lot of you 6 years. So maybe it might take you 6 years to complete this very thing, or maybe 6 months, depending on how long it takes for your manifestation to fulfill itself. Because for a lot of you, it might be a shorter time. For others of you, this could be a long time. It could also be 6 weeks for some of you. Like maybe something only lasts 6 weeks. Let's get more cards for you, pile 1. Collaboration of the souls. What did I say? What did I say, pile 1? This is a collaboration. You're meant to have somebody else help you out with this because you can't do it alone. Not because you're not capable of it, but because somebody here is meant to bring a different perspective, a different skill set, or even just their experience. And I do feel I mean, you could see this as like collaborating with your spirit guides, but I'm hearing no. They want you to go out there and talk to people. They want you to go out there and meet another human person that is also going to help you out with this. You may have spirit guides that are very similar. You may have spirit guides that you both share, but this is not supposed to be airy-fairy. This is meant to be in the 3D because you're meant to manifest this within the 3D. I want to get another one. Also, the number 6 appeared again. So yeah, and actually in numerology, the number 6 is a number of, I wanted to say partnerships, but it's really about people who look out for their family, for their loved ones, and for like their inner community. So I feel like you are meant to also create a small group of friends or even a family in some cases, if that applies. We have unstick the stuck. Yeah, because for a lot of you, it's not that your manifestation is wrong or that you're doing anything wrong. It's just that it's stagnant now. It needs fresh air. It needs fresh air. When I said that, I heard the Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Plant a truffle, a tree, treat it with care, feed it fresh water and give it fresh air. Or no, give it clean water and feed it fresh, however it goes. That's what I heard. And it's interesting that we have the color blue here as well. There's something here about communication. I feel like for a lot of you, you haven't been communicating enough with the right people. I'm not saying to tell the whole world your manifestation, but definitely tell the right people. And I feel like you will know who they are because when you speak with them, the conversation will flow very naturally. Like the subject matter will feel natural. You won't feel like you have to hide anything from them. You won't feel like you have to, it's just gonna flow naturally. Whatever this is, it doesn't feel forced. You have death. Creativity. Interesting. There's gonna be a new way that you approach this. So the manifestation is the same, but the way you go about reaching it or tending to it, it's going to be very different because you haven't seen a different side of doing this thing, whatever it is. And I do feel like, again, it's that outside perspective. It's somebody else coming in, showing you how to do it or showing you how to do it more effectively. Because I don't see them doing it for you. I see them being more of either a mentor, a guide. Maybe they help fund it in some way, but I still see you taking full creative control, especially with Horus here. We have Kagyangwuti, spider woman, connection. Yeah, and look at the web. I'm thinking of like a network again. I'm thinking of all the people you may know. It could take several collaborations. It could take several people, but I feel like you will manifest this. Excuse me. My throat keeps getting dry, letting me know that for a lot of you, there hasn't been enough talk about this with the right people. Again, I'm not saying to tell everybody about it, but there are certain people who already do this that I feel like you may have to reach out to. They may reach out to you, and there's gonna be fruitful conversation. But again, connection. You're meant to build connections here. We have Pertho, future. It's also taking a risk. It's funny that this particular deck introduced the idea that Pertho isn't just the future vision, it's also taking a risk on the future, calculated risk. So I do feel for some of you, you might be playing it a little bit too safe. I'm not saying to make it, and this is just use your discretion. You don't have to take a huge risk here. But I feel like there could be times where you could play around with your manifestation a little bit more, like just be a little bit more bold, a little bit more daring, and see where that takes you. This could also be a matter of taking risks when it's necessary. We have Nautis, which I'm not surprised for a lot of you. I'm getting this feeling of like needing help. That's what Nautis means. It's needing help, like SOS. Things have turned, I don't want to say for the worst, because I feel like for a lot of you, that's not the case. It's more like you need help, and don't be afraid to ask for it, rather than just sit there and wonder what to do about next. I do want to get some astro dice just for anything astrological or any planets that could be affecting this. We have the nodes. I forget if it's the south node or the north node, but regardless, the nodes deal with fate. So for a lot of you, this manifestation is definitely fated. But what's manifested more than this manifestation is actually the connections you make along the way, the experiences, the conversations, everything you learn in trying to manifest this very thing that you have going on, pile 1, is more important than the manifestation itself. It's very much like it's all about the journey and not the destination. You're meant to learn a lot because that's going to help you out in your future endeavors and in your development in life. We also have Pisces and the 3rd house. Again, something about communication. Get out there and talk to people. Don't be afraid to talk to the right people. And I can understand if it seems daunting. I mean, I'll provide an example in a moment. Pisces, definitely use your intuition as well. But also this makes me think of how Pisces likes to take on, they're a bit of a chameleon. They like to take on certain aspects, certain qualities and characteristics of the people around them, or even the things that they like. Like they get inspired by, for example, a fictional character, and they may take on some of those things. So don't be afraid to, again, take something that has already been there and improve upon it. It makes me think of, and I'm not saying you have to like this this musician. I'm not saying you have to at all, and I don't want to hear about it, but I'm just using this as an example. I'm thinking of Bad Bunny, who, one of his latest albums, oh my God, what was it called? The one where he did a huge dedication to his home country of Puerto Rico. He takes a lot of, the salsa songs and improves upon them. He makes his own music. He takes something that already was and puts his spin on it for a newer generation, also being very true to his own aesthetic, to his own kind of thing. I'm thinking of something similar like that here, pile 1. So you don't even have to deviate too far from whatever it is that you are trying to manifest. You just have to take inspiration from something that already is, but put your own spin on it while still paying homage and, respect to the original, to the source of it. Let's put it that way. But with the 3rd house, I'm seeing some of you, maybe you've already tried to reach out to somebody, because I was being shown a personal example where I tried to reach out to a local place here where I was like, hey, I'm a tarot reader. I was wondering if I could do tarot readings here or some sort of collaboration. Didn't have to be anything big. And the first thing they did was ask me, do you have certification? And I'm like, excuse me, I didn't know you needed to be certified to read tarot. I've only been reading it for, 15 years now. Not only that, but I was explaining to them like what my background is with intuition and astrology, etc. But she just kept going on about, oh, well, we have these classes. And I'm like, why do I need to be part of your class in order to build this? So if you've had like one of those gatekeeping moments where somebody just kind of was like, no, you can't sit with us, you don't have the right whatever, and I understood they were just trying to push a class on me. Like, I guess it's happening in real life as much as it is online as well. Nothing against people, pushing classes of any kind, but I feel like if you already have the experience, I don't know, I just felt some type of way about it. But if you had a similar experience where you try to get into something and they basically just kind of shut you down or something similar, I feel like don't let that discourage you, because all that experience is showing you is who are not the right people for you. And I feel like, unfortunately, where I went to, I don't think that would have been the right fit for me. And maybe it's true, because whenever I would go in there, they had a slight different way of viewing spirituality than I did, or at least that's the impression that I got. Nothing against it, it's just very different, and I feel like it would have not been a great fit. But you will find your people, because you are meant to find them. And just because you found your people before and they didn't work out doesn't mean you can't find new people or new inspiration here. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the Mystic Dreams Tarot, then we have a reading here for you about your manifestation. What are you manifesting, as well as how it's coming along, when it will happen. We're just checking in on your manifestations in general. I haven't done a reading like this, so I kind of wanted to just do a reading to see how you're coming along, as well as any blocks that you may have in order to obtain this, and anything else that just comes up. In general, the theme is manifestation, and you chose the deck, the Mystic Dreams Tarot. In this deck, it's known as the Manifester, and I'm not sure if you can see it. I don't even know if this is the right lighting for this, but there's like a hand here, and there's like a face It's beautiful. There's a little iridescence there if you catch it in the light. So let's see what we've got going on. We're going to start with the tarot, then we're going to get into some oracles. For my pile 2, how is your manifestation coming along? What are you manifesting? As well as any time frames that could be important here. And any blockages, or how to speed up the process. I keep hearing blockages. So for this pile, you may be aware that there are certain blockages or that there's something in the way of your manifestation coming through. We have divine intervention. This is a tower moment. Yeah, there's definitely something in the way of this. For a lot of you, I'm kind of getting an outside energy in the way of your manifestation. I'm not sure why. We have justice reversed. We have the shadow of the devil in this deck. It's called the shadow. And tower is divine intervention. Yeah, there's an external energy here. I don't want to say it's nefarious, but it does feel like not so pure intentions. Let's put it that way. We have the 3 of Cups. People around you are getting in the way of what you want. You have the Page of Wands. There's a lot of envy here as well. For a lot of you, I am kind of getting the feeling that if you're telling everybody about your goals, your dreams, your plans, the things you are trying to manifest, it might be time to scale it back, because the more you tell people, the more envious eyes you may draw. So for this pile in particular, if you were thinking that people are getting in the way of your manifestation, you are very much right. I do feel like it's time for you to reassess who you share this manifestation with, as well as put protective energy around yourself, because there's something here about people wanting to take from you. Very petty energy, very envious energy as well. We have, this is the Hanged Man reversed, the Holy Dancer. We have the 4 of Cups. If people have been trying to talk you down or talk you out of something, it's for a reason. The 4 of Cups lets me know that somebody here is holding on to a particular emotion, a particular feeling. It could even be holding on to you in a way, in a sense, but not in a physical sense. Like, for example, they wouldn't want to keep you from achieving your dreams or achieving, it's not that they want to hold you back physically. They want to hold you back energetically. They want to hold you back in your mindset. It's like they need to keep you at a low vibration. They want to keep you back vibrationally. It's like they're fine if you have $1 million, but they want you to still be upset and have $1 million. Does that make sense? That's what I'm getting. That's the example I'm being shown. They don't care if you ascend the ranks. What they do care about is, are you going to be happier, more vibrant, more fulfilled? They don't want you to be out of that particular mindset, which I know sounds weird, but this is what I mean by envious people. I feel like there's people around you that don't want you to be happy, because if you were to be happy, then who are they going to be miserable with? It's kind of like that saying, misery loves company. You're surrounded by people like that who want to keep you in a negative mindset, in a negative vibration. And again, they don't mind if you become a billionaire. They don't mind if you travel the world. What they want is for you to not be happy. And I don't know why that is. I don't feel like I said, it feels nefarious, because I don't know, I don't like this energy. We have Divine Masculine and the Moon. So this could be, Divine Masculine is the Emperor reversed here, and the Moon is reversed as well. So I feel like this will come to the light. For a lot of you, this could be a father figure or a masculine figure in your life. This doesn't have to be a man per se, but it could be, for example, a woman who has very strong masculine energy because she's had to be. But regardless, there is like a very authoritative kind of energy here who is misusing their authority basically to control you. Because like I said, this person, these people, it could be multiple people here with the 3 of Cups. They want to keep you in a particular mindset, in a particular way of thinking, in a particular vibration. It's like, how can we keep this person upset? They don't do this intentionally, but it's kind of like that's their way of viewing life, and that's their way of operating in the world. And that's not fair, because I feel like they just, again, I'm hearing misery loves company. If you're miserable and they're miserable, then they feel better about themselves, as opposed to seeing you be happier. So somebody here doesn't want to see you happy. Again, whatever you're manifesting, your manifestation will bring you to a higher vibration, and they're getting in the way of that because they don't want you to be in a higher vibration. They don't want you to live a happy, content, easy life. They want you to live whatever life they think you're supposed to live. And I've picked up on this energy quite a lot before. This feels a lot for most of you like family, but it could also be friends. Friends or family, definitely the environment around you, definitely the people around you. Could even be like your neighborhood or your community. Because I keep hearing, like, I'm just seeing this very snotty attitude from people. It's like, oh, who does pile 2 think they are, trying to be happy? And it's weird because I'm not getting that they're trying to take anything from you. They just want to keep you down. They just want to keep you down. So this may be, for example, let's say you're having a great time, you've had a wonderful week and things are looking up, and suddenly they come in with some sort of drama. They call you up about something or they ask for something, and it just starts a whole process that kind of just drags you down. I keep seeing that, like you're trying to get out of the ocean and they're just dragging you down into the ocean with their BS. The ocean being their BS here. That's what I'm seeing. Back of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords reversed. The good news is that you are capable of breaking free of this. It's just going to take it's going to take a lot of boundary setting. I want to get advice for this particular pile. Because with the Hanged Man reverse, it's like you're no longer accepting their vision of whatever this life that they have set out for you is meant to be. You're no longer accepting whatever it is that they've told you before and time again about being unhappy. The Moon reverse lets me know that things are about to change. So there's going to be some sort of secret. And I feel like this particular secret or piece of information, if it's not a secret, that is about to be exposed could actually really change the trajectory of either how they treat you or how you speak to them, how they speak to you. It's kind of like finding out whether it's intentionally or unintentionally that somebody here has been out to get you. And it's almost like that's all you needed to hear in order to move on with your life, to move on to better things. Because I just do not like these people. With the Devil and the Tower, these feel like people or a person. It could be a person or multiple people who just come in with drama for no reason. Like, it may not even concern you, but they want to keep you upset. They want to keep you worried. They want to keep you anxious. It's just like they want to rile you up because they know if they do, then you're not going to be happy. And they don't want you to be happy because they themselves are miserable. This one was pretty simple. This one was pretty straightforward. We have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. I'm hearing don't owe them anything and don't let them owe you anything. Don't owe them anything and don't let them owe you anything. Because there's something about bargaining here. It's almost like if you have a reason or an excuse to keep you in their life or have them be in your life, it's just going to create more drama. So I'm just hearing cut all ties, maybe even cut losses here. Because whatever you lose is going to be like you gain more in losing what you already lost than in trying to get something from them. Don't worry about what they have to give you. Like, just cut your losses is what I'm hearing with the 5 of Pentacles reversed. You have Death and Rebirth. So there is going to be a change here. There's going to be a major change. There's going to have to be. Because this kind of dynamic can't go on forever. Like, this kind of dynamic is unhealthy on both your parts. It's unhealthy for them because it's giving them bad karma in the way that they're trying to control you. And it's unhealthy for you, of course, because you have to deal with it. But I am seeing that it can no longer sustain itself. So it will eventually fizzle out. It will eventually die down. For some of you, there could be a literal death that kind of makes you or them or the both of you reassess how you interact with each other and how you handle the situation. But all of this is getting in the way of your manifestation. So I'm sorry, I'm not really talking about your manifestation. I'm just seeing that a lot of you are having trouble manifesting because this energy is getting in the way of that. And if you're not in an energy of being able to accept your manifestation, then how can you go through with it? Or how can you keep that manifestation once it's there? If you have this particular energy buzzing all around you. Yeah, the Ace of Cups. I do see you no longer speaking to these people or this person. It may come on suddenly or it may be something that fizzles out, but it's kind of like you can no longer sustain it. You can no longer be in this because back of the deck we have the Hermit reversed. You're not going to be kept in this small energy. I don't always see the Hermit as like small introverted energy, even though a lot of people would assume that it's that way. It's more like the Hermit does come out and speak out and set boundaries. in ways that you don't expect. The Hermit is somebody who understands themselves, and because of that, they understand what they should and shouldn't tolerate. So I see you stepping out of this more passive role and taking on an active role, not because you want to, but because you have to. And the Ace of Swords, that's how you break free. This is how you break through this. It is going to be a little sad, especially if this was somebody that was close to you or if it's family. But Knight of Swords, you can't keep doing this. You just can't. Temperance, balancing things out. Things will reassess themselves because negative dynamics can't last forever. They just can't. It's kind of like a law of the universe that negative things can't go on forever. There has to be balance at some point. So that's what I'm getting for your manifestation. So let's go ahead and move on to the oracles to actually talk about the manifestation. Maybe for some of you, you kind of expected this. Because like I said, how can you move on to the great things if this particular energy keeps you from the great things, or it keeps you from being able to accept all the wonderful things here? And for a lot of you, like I said, it's setting up boundaries and just ignoring the situation. And if you can't ignore it, again, it's setting boundaries. It's not engaging with somebody who just wants to poke you in order to engage with them. So pile 2, we have cleansing, smoke. Anytime I say this, I think of cleansing your energy from the situation. I specifically advise frankincense and not myrrh. I use a combination of frankincense and sage, white sage. Sometimes I'll use Palo Santo because I just have it readily available at all times. But for a lot of you, that may not be strong enough. I'm particularly getting sage and frankincense, or a combination of both of those. Frankincense is my favorite. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, it's my favorite because I think I grew up with it in the Catholic Church. But if you don't like it, I can understand. White sage would do just well. The reason being is because they're both very protective. Palo Santo can be more energizing, at least to me. We have Journey, Labyrinth, 45. You are about to embark on a journey. This could mean that you have to walk away from this, maybe quite literally, in order to finally be rid of it. For those of you manifesting a place to go, whether this is a new home, a new journey, a trip, a travel, I feel like this is the main thing that is going to get you out of it. Excuse me. And life force, number 10. Also be aware of your energy at all times. Meditation could come in hand in hand with manifestation in this case, to make sure that you are checking up on your energy, see how you're feeling. I'm seeing some of you journal or do something where you check in, maybe on an app, and you kind of rate what your vibration is on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 or whatever scale you prefer. Because I'm seeing the little smiley faces at the doctor where they use for the kids. It's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your pain? I'm kind of seeing that, but you're rating your vibration. Maybe also your pain if you want to, but I'm seeing a little bit of that. So that's going to be one way to help you stay in the vibration of manifesting what you need. Because believe it or not, you don't actually have to be at a completely high vibration to manifest. You just have to be in an energy of receiving. And for a lot of you, this energy that kept getting in the way, it's kind of like smacking your hands away from receiving what you need. You know, it's like you have your hands open. I want what I want, but they just kept smacking it away, and it's getting in the way of that. So for pile 2, we have Ixchel, compassion. You may not be ready to hear this, and maybe this is something that you may have to take into consideration, but compassion here is letting me know one way to stay in a high vibration is to just have compassion for those people who do nothing but bring you down, because they must be really miserable in order to keep bringing you down. It's like only people who are unhappy have nothing better to do than to talk negatively to people, bring up problems, stir up drama. Only people with nothing better to do would do that. And what a pity, because they could be doing such more beautiful, wonderful things in this wonderful life that we are given. But instead they're out here being haters or being petty or whatever it is that they're doing. So one way to combat this is to actually just feel sorry for them, have compassion, and wish them the best. Again, maybe some of you don't want to hear that because the energy I was picking up on is kind of a little difficult, but for a lot of you, just wish them love because they clearly need it if they're capable of that, of treating people like that. Back of the deck, we have Persephone, balance. So yeah, there's a balancing here. Things cannot stay one-sided forever. They do eventually pan out. And Wild Heart. For a lot of you, I am getting that this is kind of like breaking free of that energy and either running away, going away, or just like moving on with your life for sure. Let's get a few more cards. We have Rider-Waite, which is another card of journey. For a lot of you, I feel like you're trying to manifest like a trip somewhere or a voyage somewhere. It's like you want to go somewhere. You could be trying to leave home, or you could just be trying to move somewhere. And I feel like this is getting in the way of that. So if you're trying to manifest a trip, I feel like this is what this is calling for. If not, the universe is asking you to manifest a particular, maybe for some of you it could be a car or a method of transportation, or like just going away from this. I do feel like you will be eventually taken away from this because, like I said, it just can't sustain itself. Because I'm being shown, I've known multiple people who have had to leave, you know, their entire countries just to get rid of like unhealthy family dynamics, unfortunately. We have welcome the divine masculine. For a lot of you, I am getting that you have to heal that masculine aspect of yourself or heal your relationship with the divine masculine. Because we had this reversed in the tarot. And here it is, it's welcoming in divine masculine. So reassessing your relationship to masculine energy. Again, doesn't have to be men specifically, but it can be. But how do you view that controlling energy? For example, when you think of the word control, is it a positive or a negative thing? Honestly, it should be a neutral thing, and it should depend on the context, like what it is what you're actually talking about. But control itself, it's not a bad thing. You can have control over your own self, and that's a positive thing. You can control a situation, that can be a positive thing. People controlling you could be a positive or a negative thing, depending on what it is that is happening. But usually it's seen as negative. So ask yourself what that particular word, control and authority, even masculine, what those words mean to you, and whether you're putting a positive or negative spin on it. Regardless, it should remain neutral until, you know, depending on the context. Accept and receive. A lot of you are breaking through blockages of accepting and receiving what it is that you need. Like I said, it's like you're ready to receive this manifestation. What's getting in the way is whatever this wacky energy is taking it off your hands or knocking your hands away. Prosperity, sisters, are happiness and joy. Yeah, remember to stay in this energy of happiness. Remember to stay in this energy of joy, because when you're happy and joyful, regardless of what's going on, you allow the universe to welcome in beautiful things. And I get it. Life can be hard sometimes. It can be hard to find the fun, joyous things in life. But this is where I like to see, I like to see how, you know how children are whenever they're little and they don't really notice when things are bad. They're too busy having fun, being children, being happy. When we talk about nurturing the inner child, that's exactly what we're talking about, is remembering and finding reasons to be happy, even if they're little things, even if they're silly, even if it's just taking a moment to watch funny reels online or to watch a comedy or something along those lines, or even just having fun. Finding reasons to have fun. There will always be reasons to dance. There will always be reasons to sing and look at something funny. I feel like keeping yourself in that positive energy will really help combat anyone who wants to bring you down. And back of the deck, Soul on Fire. I love that. I'm hearing that song, the Alicia Keys song, That Girl Is on Fire. So I haven't heard that song in a long time, but I just keep hearing That Girl Is on Fire. So I do feel like whatever this situation is here, pile 2, you will eventually break from it. It can't last forever, and your manifestation is just on the other side. It's almost like it's waiting for you. And you will learn how to get to that by remaining as positive as you can and remembering that things don't last forever. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Oh, I almost forgot. How dare I? I almost forgot. I was going to roll the Astro dice. For dates that are important, we have the number 6, so that could be June, number 10, which is October, the 10th of June or the 6th of October could be important. We also have 19, 24, and those are dates. And then we have 45, 36, 38. All right, we have Aries. We have, again, masculine energy. healing your connection to the masculine energy, because Aries is one of the more masculine signs, maybe the most masculine signs out of all the zodiac, which I have a hard time understanding that because my Venus is in Aries, so my feminine energy is Aries, but regardless, healing the way you view masculinity, or even like that more masculine energy, is going to help a lot. We have the 7th house of relationships. So for a lot of you, if you're trying to manifest a partner, the one thing that is getting in the way is either people making you feel bad, making you feel like you're not worthy, or making you feel like you're in debt to them as opposed to finding a partner to build a life with. This could also be affecting your relationships. I wasn't really getting anything romantic out of this particular pile, but I don't know, maybe family is getting in the way of you manifesting a relationship, a marriage, or whatever it is that you want. And then with Mercury, definitely communication. The way you speak, the manner in which you choose to speak, literally speaks volumes. Sometimes it's better to not get wrapped up in the way somebody else is talking, and instead speak from your own voice from within, what am I trying to say here? Controlling the way you want to speak. And not allowing people, I feel this in the throat chakra, not allowing people to put words in your mouth, words in your throat, not allowing them to keep you quiet. Because I'm kind of being shown, I never know if any of you saw this, because it's kind of like celebrity gossip stuff. But I remember when Shakira was separating from Piqué, her ex-husband, there was a video showing of her, was it her mother-in-law, putting her hand over her mouth, trying to keep her quiet, keep her shut. And I was like, oh my goodness, no. Like, I'm getting a little bit of that. That's the energy I'm seeing for a lot of you. So for a lot of you, I feel like this could be preventing you from being able to speak your manifestations into existence, because again, you have to keep quiet about it, but you also want to manifest. So there is a fine line here. Don't tell anybody about what it is that you want. Just manifest in secret, manifest with the heart, and it will come through. Whew, this energy is heavy, but pile 2, I am sending you so much love, so much healing, so much light, sending you so much love. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the Accurate AF Tarot, then we have your reading here for you about your manifestation. We're going to see what your manifestation is, how it's coming along, anything in the way. And we're just going to be talking about your manifestation. There is a gap in this. I'm already getting that a little bit, because as I'm talking, I have to like try extra hard to like get that final push of a sentence out, which is really weird. I'm not out of breath or anything. I haven't really done much today. I usually get that like after, it's like, after an exercise, you're out of breath or you need to catch your breath. I'm getting a little bit of that kind of energy. So for a lot of you, you've been putting a lot of effort into this. You're almost there, and it's like you need that final push to get you through. So we're going to start with the tarot, and then we're going to get into the oracles, just to see how your manifestation is coming along. For my pile 3, we have Metamorphosis, which is the death card in this reading. Profound change, and self-awareness. So there's definitely a big change coming up for you. Whatever you're manifesting, well, one, it's on its way. Like, it's definitely working. You're halfway there. You're in the last lap of this race, if you will. But it's going to change you profoundly. Like, things are not going to be the same after. We have the World. Yeah, it's like you're completing a cycle, completing a chapter. And I feel like a lot of you have been trying to manifest that very thing. It's like you're manifesting a new chapter in your life. You're manifesting a whole new life for a lot of you. We have the 10 of Cups, something that's definitely going to better your life, your position, your family, if you have a family. We have abundance, attainment, achievement, fulfillment. We have the 6 of Wands, advancement and recognition. Wow, lots of beautiful positive energy for you here, pile 3. Like, I feel like your manifestation, it's coming. And I don't know if you're ready for how good it's going to be. Because the only thing I see getting in the way of this so far is maybe a resistance to change, or a resistance to not just any change, it's like profound change. It's like a lifestyle change. It's a change of environment. We also have self-awareness here. So it's becoming aware of what it is that you need to get ahead, what it is that you need to do, the steps you need to take in order to get there. We have the Two of Swords. This is kind of like a word of caution to not tell people about this until you're ready. Like, this can be your own little secret. This can be your own little manifestation secret here, that it's meant for you and whatever you've got going on. For some of you, you may have been dreaming about this place, because I literally had a dream last night about walking through a place in Italy that I'd never seen before, which is really interesting. And I've been there before in real life, so it was interesting. It's like I saw the parts that I knew, and then I saw the parts that I didn't know. So it's like, for some of you, you could be dreaming this in parts, but this is definitely meant to be your secret. It's between you and spirit, between you and your higher self. Yeah, the Ten of Pentacles, culmination, satisfaction. This is basically all happy endings. Like, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, the World. Even death here is coming through as like a really happy thing, because it's like the end of an old version of yourself, the end of an old lifestyle, and the beginning of something new. But mostly we're focusing on the end part here, because you might have a little bit of a gap between whatever you have going on right now and whatever the next phase of your life is. So a lot of you, you're manifesting a new phase in your life, and it's going to be very positive. Yeah, Page of Wands. You may not know where you're going. You just know that you need to go there. Inspiration, potential. Some of you could even be manifesting a particular type of potential. We have the Five of Swords, resentment, competition, and the Dawn of the Page of Cups. So I'm also seeing that it might be time to let go of resentment, or let go of whatever it is. It's like cutting your losses. Like, maybe you do lose something in manifesting this new era of your life, but it's like, cut your losses. Even if you do miss out on something, whatever you have to gain is way better. And I feel like that could be part of the resistance to this new change. Part of the resistance to your self-awareness is the fact that you're right. You may not be having everything that you want in this next chapter, but it's going to be so much better for you. So maybe you leave behind, for example, a job that you got used to, maybe certain friends that are just not on board with the kind of life that you want now. But what you have to gain is it's so much more than what you're losing. What you have to gain is so much more. Because the Page of Cups here is coming through as sending a lot of love to that from your past. When you let go with love and gratitude, what comes to you is going to come to you with that much more love and that much more gratitude. The back of the deck, we have the King of Swords, articulate and intelligent. So for a lot of you, there could be a communicative episode coming up for you. You could be communicating a lot, or this could just be planning. I feel like the King of Swords is definitely like the ultimate planner next to the Queen of Swords, because here you're having to think about things logically without much emotion, but taking a lot into your heart and soul. Ooh, why did my voice crack when I said that? You're having to take account a lot of your logic into your heart and soul when it comes to this next chapter of your life. So don't just think about the practical and logical things that are coming up for you. Think about how much more vibrant your soul will be being in this energy of things working out for you, of things being better, of getting everything that you wanted. But at the same time, you have to keep a lot of this to yourself, because I feel like people might look with an envious eye. And that's kind of been a common theme in a lot of these readings when it comes to manifesting. Not everybody has to know all of your business. Sometimes including people who are like your mentors. I think especially your mentors. I don't know why that came through. Maybe because the King of Swords can sometimes be like a teacher or a professor or a mentor. Sometimes you don't have to tell them what's going on, because you never know what their claim on you is or how they feel like you owe them in some way. I say this because this has happened to me. I had a mentor who kind of prevented me from stepping into the next chapter of what I had to do. And it's funny when I tap into her, every now and then I'll just be reminded of that energy. And when I realize it, it's like that wasn't at the time it was the best mentor I had, but if I was to have that mentor now, it wouldn't work out because I live a very different life now and I see things differently and I've learned a lot more. So I'm getting something very similar here for you, pile 3. You've outgrown certain things, people, places, and you don't have to tell them where you're going. Oh, there's a glow up for you as well with the Queen of Wands here. And then underneath that, we have the Page of Pentacles. Lots of page energy, lots of beginner energy. It's almost like you're starting anew, but in a wonderful way, in a positive way. It's almost like you get a do-over or a makeover, or it's like starting from scratch. It's a clean slate. So that's very, very positive energy. I love this for you, pile 3. So with that said, let's go ahead and get your oracles to see more specifically what's coming up next for your manifestation. The only thing I really see in the way of this manifestation is, well, 1, your own self-doubt, and 2, people who may not want you to move on to this. And I think they're a little bit closer than you believe, which is why you kind of have to keep it a little secret. Keep it secret until it's done. So let's get your oracle cards for my pile 3. External validation, number 50. I think a lot of you are used to external validation from people. I'm seeing you change your view, because there's nothing wrong with external validation. I feel like you're going to change where you get your validation from, and it's no longer going to be from people. It's going to be from experiences. It's going to be from the results that the universe shows you after putting in your effort. It's going to be, I think this manifestation itself is a form of external validation here, pile 3. We have feed your artist. A lot of you, you're going to become much more creative in this new era of your life. And sometimes being inspired to be creative is a sign that you're headed in the right direction, as opposed to feeling uninspired. Manifesting and doing. Yep, just confirmation. You manifest as you do. And while you do, you manifest. So as you're taking action, as you're doing things, you're actually manifesting here. Pile 3. Oh, okay, these two wanted to come out. We have Kanas, which is a torch. And this is basically like starting something new. It also makes me think of the Ace of Wands, like setting fire to something, beginning, like setting a spark, lighting a candle. So you're definitely beginning new things. There's a lot of inspiration here. And then we have, I want to say this is, there's 2 runes that look very similar to this. So I want to make sure I get the right one. Manas. It is Manas, which I want to say is humankind. Let me read from the book because I don't get this one too often. But I do feel like people are involved somehow, oddly enough. Yeah, mankind, endurance, human spirit, potential, resilience, and duty. We each have a duty to those that come after. So whatever you have going on, this manifestation does involve other people, but I feel like you're going to either be seeking better people or improving the lives of people. I feel like you're going to be finding your kind of people, if you will, because I'm thinking of how this reminds me of a yin-yang symbol. It's like people that complement your energy or who are compatible with your energy. So you could be finding new people, people that, if you're looking for an audience, you could be finding your right audience as well. An audience that kind of like vibes with you and is like definitely meant for you. Pile 3. We have butterfly renewal. Yeah, you're going to go through a huge transformation. And I feel like it could come with a glow up. It doesn't necessarily have to be. But even if you don't do anything physically to yourself, you're just going to look better. It's like you get better sleep, better nutrition. You look more hydrated. You look healthy. You look vibrant. We have lightness, feather, and Ouroboros cycles. Yeah, like I said, you're closing out a cycle. December could be an important month here because this is the number 12. And then 23, lightness, feather. Your life is going to be lighter. And by that, I mean like you won't be so tired or exhausted. You won't be bogged down by so many responsibilities. Not saying that you won't have any, but it's like they're not going to feel as taxing. You know how some days, because everybody has responsibilities, right? But some days they just feel heavier than others. It's like they're going to feel less and less heavy as time goes on. And the last card for my pile 3. We have Mengpo, Memory, and Circe, Manifest. It's interesting that you keep getting manifesting cards here. I think for a lot of you, what you're manifesting is the ability to manifest without thinking, the ability to manifest without having to manifest. Does that make sense? It's like things just come to you. It's like before you even think them, boom, they appear. It's like, I didn't realize subconsciously I was manifesting this, but it works out. It ends up working out. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm being shown an example. I was at the grocery store, a store yesterday, and I was just walking around, and I didn't think I needed a basket, so I just went in without a basket. And then I'm just walking around the store and I have all these things in my hands, and then I stumble upon an empty basket that nobody was using. There was no one around. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, universe. And I put my stuff there. And I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, I was okay carrying all my things. But there it was, and there I took it, because I'm sure whoever was working that day didn't want to have to come back and grab it anyway. So I'm like, it works out for everybody. I'm getting something similar here for you, pile 3, where what you manifest works out for you, works out for everybody else. Everybody is happy. It's just like things fall into place, and you don't even have to think about it. With memory here, it's like you don't have to put any mental effort into this. It just happens. And I think that's the best kind of manifestation of all. I don't remember if I used Astro Dice in the previous piles, but I'm going to do that for you, pile 3. Oh, okay. The moon. Okay, so that one just fell out of my hands. So definitely keep track of the moon cycles. I'm actually recording this in the middle of eclipse season, September of 2025. So eclipse season could be important, whether it's the current one or whatever is happening with the moon at the time that you are watching this, because it is a timeless reading. Keep your eye on the moon for sure, because I feel like that's important. Specifically your natal moon as well, because oddly enough, this eclipse season is aspecting my natal moon. It's in conjunct and then it's opposing, which is interesting. Okay, so we have the number 9, which is travel, education, and expansion. It's also spirituality. And oddly enough, it does involve manifestation. So I do feel like a lot of you're manifesting without realizing. And then we have Taurus. As soon as I saw that, I heard that song by Ariana Grande. I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. I forget what placement she has in Taurus. I think her sun is in the 2nd house, which makes sense because that would be a really peak manifestation type of placement. But I would look to your Taurus energy in your chart regardless, because I feel like that's how you manifest. Some of you could have moon in Taurus or Taurus in the 9th house, which would make you Virgo, possibly. I don't know. I would double check because the houses aren't always so neatly aligned. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the Weird Cat Tarot, then we have a reading here for you about your manifestation. We're going to be talking all about your manifestation, including anything getting in the way of it, when it will happen, if that is possible, and anything that you may need to know about this particular thing you are manifesting. So we're going to start with the tarot, then we're going to get into the oracles, but let's get right into it. So I'm getting... I'm seeing a barrier, like an invisible barrier. Like either you're trying to get through it or you're trying to break it, but it's really thin and really, I keep seeing invisible barriers. So there could be, it's not a block. I don't think that's how the universe wants you to see it. It's kind of like you need to break through. That's what I'm getting. Because you may think you hit a wall. You actually just hit a barrier that is easily overcomeable. Is that a word? That can be easily overcome. So pile 4, we have the 2 of Wands reversed. We have the Sun. This is one of those situations where you may need to get outside help, is what I'm seeing. Because the sun here has like this little, like we have this big cat and then we have this little cat on top. And then the Two of Wands makes me think that two are better than one. So you have one wand and I feel like somebody else here has another. Because whatever this is, it's a two-person job. If it's not a two-person job, it could just be one of those things where you kind of need insider information, or you need information about how to do this. Like, this is something that wouldn't be achievable unless somebody who has already done it or who already knows about it has gone through it. We have the Star reversed, we have the World. Yeah, don't give up hope, because I do feel like for some of you, you kind of have you've been starting to cast doubt on this particular manifestation. We have the Fool. And it's not your first attempt either. In fact, I think it's interesting that the Fool and the World cats in this pile look very similar. Very similar. But as to where this cat looks more carefree, the World cat looks more focused. That's the only difference. So for a lot of you, this is not your first rodeo. And I think that's the frustration here, is that you've done this before, so you don't get why it's not working out. It's like, I did it before. But this could be, for example, maybe things have been updated or things have changed since the last time you did it. Doesn't matter how long ago you did it. I feel like changes can happen that quickly. So unless somebody shows you how to do the new thing, you won't know it. So I'm specifically seeing, like, you know, in a workplace or working with a software, it's like you used it literally last week and now it won't let you do the thing. So somebody has to show you how to use it, the new version, the updated version. I'm getting a similar feeling to that. So that's an example. Same thing with anything. I feel like I'm hearing laws and regulations, or things have changed a lot. Whatever it's going on, I feel like there's a lot of change. It doesn't have to be laws or regulations. It could even be just the way the software is, the way something works, an updated program. We have the King of Swords. Yeah, someone really intelligent, someone who really is very knowledgeable about this will come through and help you. Very knowledgeable. Oh, okay, we got a lot. We have the Magician again, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. Don't be surprised if this person teaches you almost everything. If you had tried to figure this out on your own, you would have learned how to do it, yes, but not as well as if this person had taught you. I feel like this person is meant to come in to help you learn this. This is definitely a teacher kind of energy, somebody who is like a mentor, a teacher, somebody who's meant to show you how to do something. The Magician energy, they're quite an expert. Maybe they even created this themselves. And the Ace of Wands and the Six of Pentacles, this is meant to help you out, because you're not just going to learn how to do this one thing pertaining to your manifestation here, pile 4. You're going to learn a lot more from them. So let's say they teach you how to do the thing that you want to do. On top of that, they also teach you about various other things, just being around them, getting to know them, and having them in your presence, having them in your contact list, if you will. So this person actually may help you out with, let's stick with the example of the workplace. Like, there's a new software update in the workplace and they teach you how to do this. It's like you also get to talking to them, and then you find out that they've been with the company XYZ years and this is how they did this and that they do this. Or maybe they also have like a background in whatever it is that you're trying to do, and they give you the ins and outs. So the reason that you've kind of reached this barrier, because it's not a block, it's not a wall either, it's a barrier. This person is kind of meant to help guide you so that you can learn more than if you had done this on your own. And who this person is, we can get into that in the oracles. Definitely strong Mercury energy. So they could be a Gemini. I'm getting Gemini for sure with both the King of Swords and the Magician. But they could also have Virgo in their chart, very detail oriented. A strong Mercury in general, which makes them a great communicator. Really great at explaining things. Really great at getting their point across. King of Swords can be any air energy. So I already mentioned Gemini. Also Libra and Aquarius. But regardless, they're very gifted. Aquarius is coming through quite a bit actually with the Fool and the Star. And the Sun is I'm getting confidence. I was going to say Leo, but I don't know if they're a Leo or not. It's more like this person radiates confidence. So you do need help from somebody. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask the most knowledgeable person that you know. They're going to teach you how to do this. Some of you could be going through some sort of training, and the person that they pair you up to train with is going to be somebody who's very impactful on your manifestation. So it could even be manifesting something else. It's like if you have multiple manifestations, this could be like the MacGuffin. You know, you were trying to manifest this, but what the universe really wanted you to manifest was whatever else this person brings along. Again, it could be like a side quest, and it turns out this was a side quest, and whatever they tell you about is actually what you're meant to do. Here, this person is going to be impactful. I do see you like at least being friends with them after the fact. Back of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. Some of you were really ready to give up. Some of you were ready to give up on this thing. For some of you, maybe you already have, especially with the Fool reversed and the Star reversed. Maybe you've given up on this, and then someone comes along and you're like, oh, I used to want to do that. Can you show me how? And they teach you. So for some of you, this might be a manifestation that was on hold. It could have been on pause, quite literally, because you got all these cats. Pause. But yeah, I feel like you're meant to find or meet somebody to help you out with this very thing. I want to get more information on this person. I want to see if you know them already or not. And then we're going to get into the oracles. Excuse me. Pile 4. Something about communication for sure is coming through here. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, lots of talking. I'm being shown a different example if the work situation one didn't make sense. It's like, let's say you're trying to move to a new town, a new country, a new place, but you don't know how to obtain, like, specifically countries. It's like you don't know how to go about getting citizenship. You meet somebody who learned how to get it, and they teach you the ins and outs and even the updates or something along those lines. It's something similar to that. That's another example. Because I kept hearing like a language barrier, or like having to learn multiple languages. So if that applies to you, you can take that. You have the Five of Wands. Can I get another card? Sorry, I'm looking into this Five of Wands. Some of you are afraid of causing trouble is what I'm seeing. So maybe this is why you haven't really reached out to anybody. I don't think you'll reach out to them. They'll probably reach out to you, or you will like, oh, I'm getting such deja vu. You will kind of meet this person, and within the conversation that you have, because this person is very talkative, you will learn things about them, and that's how it's almost serendipitous how it happens. It's like, it's gonna feel like a fated meeting, because I don't think you initially seek this person out about your specific thing. You start talking to them and you find out that they're into the thing that you're into. I'm getting a little bit of that. It's kind of like you meet somebody, for example, at the grocery store line, or I don't know, at the line at a cafe or something, and you just start to talking. I do feel this person will be the one who starts the conversation though. They're very talkative. They like to meet people. Very social, very outgoing. And the Ace of Swords, yeah. Back of the deck, Seven of Cups. So I feel like you may not already know this person, or at the very least, if you do know this person, you don't speak to them. They're going to be the one initiating conversation. They're going to be the one initiating a lot, actually. Even if you do initiate conversation yourself, they're going to be the one carrying it. It's like you may say hello, but they're the ones who ask the questions. They definitely take control when it comes to how you both speak. So this person is they're very inquisitive. They like to ask questions. They like to get to know people. Ace of Swords. Yeah, lots of communication. This person is definitely more experienced. They may or may not be older, but they're definitely more experienced in whatever it is that you're doing. And Seven of Cups, Three of Wands. They open up your options. Oddly enough, they open up your options to a lot of the things going on here. So for a lot of you, your manifestation involves another person. In fact, the universe may be asking you to manifest somebody to guide you through this. So with that said, let's get into your oracles to see more specifically. I want to know more about your manifestation, what it is. But like I said, you may either have given up on this, or you thought you were supposed to manifest it, and then you move on to something different. that may be adjacent to this manifestation. So pile 4, we have the full moon culmination. It all leads up to this. We have illumination, flames, 21. The 21st of May could be an important date for you because we have 5 and 21. But this all leads up to this. It's kind of like little by little you've been leading up to this. I keep getting that. There's actually multiple manifestations involved, almost different, or you thought they didn't have anything to do with each other, but then you realize that they do. Pile 4. We have Estanatelli, renewal. Estanatelli, renewal. You're gonna go through some sort of renewal. For sure. It's almost like this reawakens something within you that you completely forgot about. So let's say this person and you have like a similar hobby that you gave up on, but then you start getting back into it because talking about this kind of brought this back to you. So you and this person, I really do feel you're going to be good friends, and you're going to be talking a lot about things that you're both into. This person like they bring back your interest in something that you either gave up on or kind of stepped away from. We have Ingus, which is a rune of fertility is one way. So again, creativity, a renewed interest in something, but also coming together of two things. So I'm going to read from the book because I don't want to misinterpret it because there's several ways to take it. And the one I know is, first of all, I think this is backwards. There we go. From the book, we have, we go within and find renewal, seed creation, fertility, gathering energy. Again, with the renewal, so it's almost like a rebirth of yourself, a rebirth and a renewed interest in something, or even like a renewed take on how to manifest what you're manifesting. Again, I do feel like this person, they really do help you out with a lot. It's like you didn't think you could get further than you did, but it turns out you were just doing it either not the right way or you were misinterpreting how to do it. So this person, I'm going to take this as an example. Let's say you were studying a particular language for a long time, but then you gave up on it because you just either you didn't use it or you had other things to work on. But then you meet somebody who speaks that language and they speak it well, and you like them enough that you want to be able to speak it with them, or they're very like patient with you when it comes to learning how to speak it because you're both fluent in a language. I'm getting something like that. For some of you, it could literally be this very thing. I know that's happened to me a few times because I've studied French. I still am not that great at French. I don't know if it's just the language or what, but I've met people who have been very patient with me in helping me speak my French. So I'm getting a little bit of that. And then the last of your cards, pile 4. Fall in love with your own story. Follow through. Yeah, I feel like this is really something you're meant to see through. So even if you've gave up on this, the universe is kind of here sending you somebody to remind you, hey, we're meant to go through with this. If it's not a person that you meet face to face, this could even be like a celebrity who does a thing that you used to love doing and now they re-inspire you to do it again. It's like finding out that one of your favorite celebrities has the same hobby as you do. Who was it for me? There was an Olympic swimmer. Oh my God, what's his name? Who was into knitting and crocheting. And I used to knit and crochet and I was like, oh my gosh. I remember when I found that out, I was like, we could be such great friends. That was a while ago though. So it's like somebody inspires you to do something. Stop, drop, and ground. And back of the deck inflow with money. So for some of you, this could involve money. Like this has the potential to make you money or to even just bring in abundance regardless. Like it'll bring something that you may need. And for others of you, I feel like this manifestation is really going to help bring in something that you really needed. Because abundance isn't just money. It can be room and board. It could be health. It could be anything that you're lacking, anything that you feel you need more of. I'm hearing time for some of you. It's what this is going to bring. So let's get your astro dice. We have Capricorn, we have the first house, and we have Pluto. Pluto and Capricorn could have been an important time for a lot of you. Maybe that's back when you did this manifestation, which wouldn't be too far off. We only went into Pluto and Aquarius, I think, about a year or so ago. So look back to Pluto and Capricorn times to see what it is that you're trying to manifest. The first house, Capricorn, this person could have Capricorn in the first house or Capricorn rising. Regardless, Capricorn does make me think of like experience, because they're the ones who climb the mountain. They achieve new goals. They set new goals. But definitely this is going to be a very transformative energy for you. Regardless, pile 4. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Also the time of when this might happen. Like I said, May 21st. January could be a good month. January 21st, 23rd, 31st. Does January have 31 days? And then May 21st, 23rd, or 31st. I don't think May has 31 days. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 5. If you chose the 8th house tarot, then we have a reading here for you about your manifestation. We're going to see what you're manifesting, as well as anything that may be getting in the way of manifesting, and when, if possible, we can see when this manifestation will come through. So we're going to start with the tarot, then we're going to get into the oracles for you. Pile 5. I keep hearing, are you ready? Like, are you ready for this manifestation? And then I'm hearing, I've got friends on the other side by that song from the Princess and the Frog. What's that dude's name? I almost used my Villains Tarot for that very reason. But in a positive way, not a negative way. Friends on the other side doesn't have to be anything negative. It could also be your angels, your guides, your spirit guides. So pile 5, we have the 8 of Wands. Yeah, because this is coming in faster than you realize, or it has the potential to catapult you way further than you realize. So a lot of you, you're manifesting something that could really change up a lot of things, quite literally overnight. Like, it's one of those manifestations where you may wake up one day and suddenly everything changes. Suddenly everything is different. Like you literally find yourself having to pack your bags, and the next day you're going somewhere, they send you somewhere. I know that's happened to me. There have been plenty of times where I have just walked into certain places and suddenly I'm not doing the thing I thought I was. I'm doing something else entirely. It's part divine intervention and part your manifestation. You have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, quickly. This may be a little public as well, or people will really hear about this. We have the Hermit. Ace of Cups. Reversed. Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Queen of Cups. Whatever this is, it's putting you in very soft energy. It's putting you in like very beautiful feminine energy. So I feel like this is something more that happens to you. Like, yes, you may have manifested it, but you're the one who is actually taking a backseat and allowing the universe to bring something for you. For some of you, you could have been manifesting like a much more calm life, a much more like being an Empress energy almost. That's what I'm getting. The downside, well, maybe or not, maybe it might be down, it might be not, is that it's going to be public. And I could see some of you being okay with that, but some of you may not want to be okay with that. Like maybe you want to keep things private, especially because water and fire here. It's almost like you're going to be at odds with this. It's like part of you is going to hate it and part of you is going to love it. And you might have hard time understanding this. The only thing I do see is that you kind of wish you had more time to say goodbye, or that you had more time to explain, because nostalgia could be holding you back a little bit here. In fact, if this hasn't happened already, once you let go of the nostalgia factor, things happen quickly. Because the only thing keeping you here are your own emotions. It's how you feel about it. The Hermit does let me know that this is going to be an individual kind of journey. This is much more, it's not loneliness, but it's definitely a journey that you take on your own. It's a manifestation that is meant for you and only you. And I don't know if you're going to be able to bring other people along here. So if you're in a hermit mode right now, this is good news. If you're not, it might be, it might do well to understand that this is a solo journey. Because maybe some of you thought you could bring other people with you, but I'm hearing that's not the case. I'm not talking about families, of course. If you do have a family or pets, I feel like they will come with you. I'm talking more about like friends or people in your neighborhood, the people that, you know, you can't take with you, like your friends. We have Pluto, Judgment. Yeah, like I said, this is going to transform everything. In fact, Judgment has come out in most of the piles in this reading. So everybody's manifesting like big things. We have the Star reversed. This is also another common card, the Star. I forget what other pile had it. I think a few other piles had it. For some of you, you almost gave up hope, or you may be second guessing yourself. It's almost like once it starts happening, you're like, wait, what if I don't want this? What if it doesn't work out? So your doubts could be coming through. Just remember that, you know, things will work out for the better. This is something that you've been wanting for some time with both your heart and all your passion. But it's like once you're there, you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute. We have Water, 10 of Cups. This will make you happy though. Like there's a resistance here because, and I was actually rewatching one of my older readings. I think it was about the shadow self, and I swear I don't know how I come up with this stuff. I know I'm channeling, but I said in that video, it's like, why are you so afraid of bettering your life? Why are you afraid of your own manifestations? Why are you afraid of things becoming better for you? And the reason I gave in that was some of you may not be used to things turning out for the better. Some of you may not be used to living a comfortable, wonderful life here. And I feel like that could be another thing that's getting in the way here is your own emotions. So it might do well to become a little bit more detached from the outcome, detached from even the things that happen, and watch how quickly this happens for you. We have Mars in Pisces, which is a really interesting placement because it's a placement of being able to manifest a lot, specifically through emotion. You can manifest through emotion. I know so many Mars in Pisces people, and myself included, but whenever I start looking at people's charts, I'm like, oh my goodness, I know like 7. And they tend to be people who, not me because my Mars is on the ascendant, so I'm not one of them, but a lot of people, these people tend to manifest without needing to try. It's like they get a feeling and boom, it's there. Or they'll think of somebody. It's almost like psychic manifestation. Like they think of something and it's there. I mean, I guess that does happen to me, but for me, it's a little different. We have the World reversed. Why is she reversed though? For some of you, this isn't the end. For some of you, this is not an ending. That's what is being, that's what's wanting to be communicated here. Like some of you may think this is for good. This is an ending. You're not going to be able to go back because I can already kind of sense the anxiety here. But it's not a complete ending. It's not over until you're happy. So even if you manifest something and it turns out not being the way you want it to be, you can always go back. Like whatever this is, I'm getting the feeling that you have more options than you realize. Back of the deck, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Moon and Taurus. Yeah, there's a sense okay, so pile 5, your own sense of comfort could be getting in the way of you reaching this particular manifestation because it is going to change up everything, and change can be uncomfortable, but when it's change for the better, I feel like there's something to be said about becoming comfortable in the changes that you ask for. Because, you know, sometimes there is a resistance to all the wonderful things that are meant for us, but it would actually help to notice that you can make new friends. I don't know why friends are coming through so strongly here. I wonder if some of you are afraid of leaving behind your little community that you have. And another way of seeing this could be to not let your community know about what you're doing. So maybe friendships could be getting in the way of this manifestation, or it could be you being afraid to leave your friendships, whichever makes more sense here. I could see it as both, depending on how attached you are to the people around you. But this is going to include a glow up wherever you go. Whatever is happening for you, this is going to help you look better. You're going to look healthier, more vibrant. Your personality will shine through more naturally as well, especially with the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, her personality is however she feels like. It's very different from the Queen of Wands, who just kind of always has a show on display. So there's a little bit of, you both feel good and you look good. And when you look good, you feel good. So I'm getting a little bit of that. Some of you could have a combination of fire and water in your moon and sun. What else is coming through here? So yeah, the only thing getting in the way of your manifestation is how you feel about it and your own sense of comfort here. And possibly financial stability, or if that's appropriate here. I don't think it's for everybody, but for some of you, it could have something to do with money. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to your oracles, pile 5, to see what else we can learn about your manifestation. But I will say this manifestation isn't final, because I see some of you changing your mind, oddly enough, or wanting to go back. So if we were to take the example of you want to move to a new country, but then once you live there for a few weeks, a few months, you kind of realize it's not your thing, you can always go back to your original country or move to somewhere new. So that's an example being provided. Or if it's, let's say you wanted a promotion and you wanted to get this promotion for a long time because maybe you needed the money, or maybe it's just something that you really wanted for mental stimulations or other reasons. You may decide it's not for you, or it's too stressful, so you step down. So just remember, you can go back and forth. Just because you manifest something doesn't mean it has to be permanent. We have serendipity, shooting star. The number 15 could be important. We have cleansing, smoke, number 6. It's interesting because 1 plus 5 equals 6, and then we also have 6. So the number 6 in numerology is a number, I mean, some of you could be this life path number, but it's a number of community. It's a number of family, of the people around you. It's definitely like a very nurturing, mothering energy as well. Me personally, that's how I see it, because that's my life path number, kind of, sort of. So I'm getting a little bit of this. June 15th could be an important date as well. Back of the deck, we have Hope, Rainbow, number 50. For my pile 5. I do get the sense that you may have to cleanse your energy regarding this particular manifestation, because sometimes the energy we put onto it can become a little dense, a little muddled, if you will. And for a lot of you, this has been a long time wish with shooting star. External validation. Number 50 again. I wonder what the number 50 means to some of you. I mean, some of you could be the age of 50. Cut the cords of doubt. Yes, always. Also, this particular color, I don't know if it looks the same on camera. I want to see. Yeah, this particular peach color could be important here for some of you. Again, with the external validation, that's that Queen of Wands. So some of you may want this to be something public. Maybe you're doing it for, I don't want to say for publicity, but it could be something that's really good for example, if you have a company, it could be good for your company. It could be good for your credit. It could be good for, I don't know, like it could just look good on a resume for some of you. With serendipity though, like I said, this might happen overnight. This might happen sooner than you realize, because I almost see like an instant manifestation. I almost see you waking up and suddenly, boom, it's there. But sometimes when things move too quickly, we can freak out. So like I said, cut the cords of doubt. We have Mami Wata, good fortune. So lots of good luck is awaiting you here. And the Morrigan, righteous anger. You know what I'm getting? This is so weird. So sometimes when our manifestation comes through, we might get angry because especially if you've been trying to manifest this a long time. Because it's almost like, I don't even know how to put this into words. But you could be so mad that you didn't think about this sooner, or that it didn't happen sooner, or that you could have manifested this a long time ago and then suddenly it's there. For some of you, this could be an opportunity that maybe you had hoped for and hoped for and hoped for, forgot about, and then suddenly it happens. And you're like, really? Right now, after all these years of me trying to manifest this, it happens right now at this weird time? I'm kind of getting a little bit of anger there. So it's justified though. Or maybe whoever was trying to grant this for you kind of put it off until some time, which is interesting. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I kind of understand the anger here, if there is any. That's not going to be everybody, of course, but just in case you feel angry whenever you manifest this, understand that that's normal. Like, that's a valid, like, it's a valid emotion to have, even if it doesn't make sense to anybody else. Or for example, let's say you're trying to manifest like a romantic situation, a partner, or even like a marriage, or even like an engagement for those of you who have been dating for a long time. Let's say your partner waits until you're, I don't know, 42, 50, something like that. And it's like, really, just now? But at least it happens, you know? So for some of you, there could be something slightly frustrating about this manifestation, but it happens. We have Anzu's Wisdom and Isa. Some of you may even put this on hold. Some of you may put a stop to this because you feel like it's going too quickly, which I think is just fine. If your intuition is asking you to take it slow, then this opportunity will not pass you by. I think if anybody is trying to rush you into this, or if they're trying to make it seem like there's a limited time available, then it's not for you. Because whatever this is, it's your manifestation, not theirs. It's on your terms, not anybody else's. So remember to take back control of your own manifestation here. After all, it's for you, not them. Let's get the last of your cards. The fact that I keep getting pairs of cards makes me wonder if there's somebody else involved here. We have anger again. Oh my goodness. For some of you, maybe you've already manifested this and you're just feeling angry and you don't understand why. Again, understand that sometimes it's pent-up emotion, pent-up anger. For some of you, there could be people who are angry that you manifested this and that you get to go on this thing and that you're doing this very thing. That's why I'm feeling the second energy here. It doesn't feel like it's you per se, but if it is, that's okay. But for some of you, this anger could be outside of this. It could be somebody else kind of being angry that this was granted to you. Maybe they were getting in the way of your manifestation for a long time and now it happens and suddenly you see the true side of themselves. So let's say you were trying to manifest, again, a relationship or trying to move somewhere or a promotion. The people who suddenly start acting like you don't deserve it are not your friends. Or the people who suddenly start acting a weird way, understand that they were the ones getting in the way of your manifestation. Their energy was getting in the way. So if you don't already know these people, or you don't already have a view, like if you don't already have a clue as to who this is, go ahead and put it out there in the universe that nobody gets in the way of your manifestations, that nobody can get in the way of the things that you want. And don't be surprised that as soon as you cut off certain people, things just happen like that overnight. Why can't I snap? Yeah, like that overnight. See? I feel like certain people could be getting in the way of that. We have the number 8, secrets, the 8th house. Actually, you chose the 8th house tarot as well, so that's interesting. That could be an important number here. But the 8th house deals with secrets. It deals with, Scorpio energy for sure. So there could be envious people. There could be a Scorpio here involved, and Mercury. Keep this a secret. In fact, I feel like it's always a good word of advice to not tell the whole world your manifestations, because I know some of you kind of want this to be in the public eye. So for example, if you have a social media account, or if you have a more public presence online, you don't have to tell your audience, you don't have to tell everybody what you're trying to manifest. Your manifestations are your own, for you, and nobody else's business. Your manifestations are nobody else's business. But I do feel like maybe people are getting in the way of this. People that you didn't know or recognize, because it took me a while to suss them out here. So anyone who gets angry at the fact that you get what you want, they're not your friends. Watch out for them. I would just ruthlessly cut them out along with the doubt. But this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 5. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.